Principal Skills Blueprint, Chapter 6, is the start of our discussion for today. The Principal Skill Blueprint is really based upon us being able to understand communication, negotiation, facilitation, and implementation as interpersonal skills necessary to help us in the 21st century marketplace. And so let's start with communication. Listening skills are probably the single most important communication skill that you can have. There are types of listening and there are listening styles, which we'll go into some detail into. Cultural communication is extremely important, and that's because there's a cross-cultural communication that's evident in this country today and globally. And from a marketing standpoint, we've got to be able to understand how to cross those cultural boundaries and know when there's going to be difficulty in expression. And then interpersonal skills, the ability to understand that building positive relationships and managing conflict is extremely important. So let's look at listening styles. People have various types of listening styles. It can be people oriented, where you are concerned with creating relationships and a sensitivity to feelings. It can be action oriented, where you're concerned with task and making sure things are taken care of. You can be content oriented in your listening style, concerned with analysis and the sensitivity to detail. And you can be time oriented, where you're concerned with efficiency and the sensitivity that speaks to impatience. More importantly, in the 21st century marketplace, you have to have all of these listening styles incorporated in your quiver so that you're in a position to use them where it's most applicable. Now, when we look at culture and communication, what happens is that we have these natural barriers and differences because of the communication style that we're using, our inability or difficulty in listening effectively, and then these impediments that make it difficult to hear because of the environment or the attitude or the sociocultural framework that's in place. So it really begs to question, why is it so difficult to blend the two? Well, it's because we don't work effectively to try to understand culture and communication. We separate them versus trying to pull them together. Interpersonal skills then really start to help us put a framework in the workplace and in the marketplace, because we're looked upon to be somewhat predictably cooperative, to make our behavior collaborative, to be able to have a healthy competitive side to what we do and appreciation for that, and then ultimately move into becoming a change agent in what we do. These interpersonal communication skills really help us when we move into this multicultural, cross-cultural, extremely diverse marketplace that we operate in, not only on a nationwide basis, but also on a global basis. Negotiation is a skill that's extremely important to have in the workplace. It really is comprised of communication, anticipation, orientation, and recognition. Where it is most significantly displayed is where people have prepared, or preparation has been paramount, that we can see it really optimized in the marketplace. So it's important for preparation to come into play when we talk about negotiation. And then facilitation is about getting people to participate, motivating them, and also getting them to be goal oriented while we develop this skill of facilitation that allows us, there it is, to be prepared and also to be measured in how well we facilitate things. So, how do we motivate people to participate from a facilitation standpoint? You have to design a program that allows that to happen, and then share that or have some transparency in it so that there's a reward and recognition system for your participation. That's a core fundamental element of facilitation that can be very subtle, or it can be very heavy and extremely obvious. Implementation is actually part of a process. And in that process, we have strategy, we have the ability to really look at our tactics, which are derivative of our strategy. And then we look at our actionable items or steps that we take, making sure that we've aligned to the most opportunistic way to be able to measure our effectiveness in putting our plan into play. This is a skill set people don't know how to implement. You're pulling together your marketing plan, but you're not effective in implementing it. Here are some definitions that should be of importance to you: communication, facilitation, implementation, and negotiation. So, what did we learn today? Well, how these principal skills can help us to not only implement and facilitate our marketing plan, but how they can help us to be competitive in the marketplace. These are interpersonal skills that are really necessary for the 21st century workplace, as well as being able to effectively navigate through what's going to be a very exciting time from a capitalistic and open free market perspective. Here is your thought for the day: what I cannot see is infinitely more important than what I can see.